a good discount, and big foodie. So I am very particular. Actually, I live in Atlanta, so I'm very particular about the food that I eat. You know, and Monisha will tell you about me living a healthy lifestyle, but there's living a healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be boring. So I want food, but I want it to be good.
Right. So, digging into that, tell me a little bit more about the efforts that you have been making in the community to ensure that, especially our kids, have a healthy lifestyle and healthy food options.
Well, it's also not necessarily saying giving back to the community, but being knowledgeable about what you eat and how you eat. So, and I always tell my clients, you are what you eat. So if you go to McDonald's or you go to Burger King, and not displaying any of those places at all, but you are what you eat. So if you wake up in the morning, like you know what, I want that candy bar, or at lunch, like I want that hamburger, then you are what you eat. Then you're gonna be that hamburger. And you're gonna look like that hamburger. And don't come crying around to everybody saying like, why do I look like this? You look like this because you ate the hamburger. Put that hamburger down. Put that soda down that has like 60 or 70, carbs in there. You know, when the average carb intake is like 4 to 6 grams. You walk around here in a daily intake, or not even a daily intake, in that one serving, you just had 34 to 60 carbs. Like, look, eventually it's gonna add up over time. So you want to cut that stuff out, and like I said, it's a lot about education. It's a lot about being knowledgeable about how to eat, and knowing when to eat, and also eating in moderation. I'm not saying that you can't have cake and ice cream and all that good stuff, but are you gonna have it every day? No. Can you have it once out the week, twice out the week? Yeah, no problem. Are you being physically active? Of course. If you're not, then you can change that.
So, looking at the African American community and
my community, our community,
yeah,
love it.
But looking at and we'll just delve more into this topic, but looking at our primarily black neighborhoods and the infrastructure of our neighborhoods, you see basically a liquor store and convenience store on every corner. So are we set up to not be healthy?
Oh, we're definitely set up for failure. You know, when we look at the food banks, and let's look at where we at, like Lucky Foods and Whole Foods. Where are those places located? They're located in affluently, and I don't mean to not be politically correct, but they're located in affluent white neighborhoods.
Yeah.
They're not off Waters and
37.
Waters and 37. They're not off of
which is a good point, because you don't have groceries. You don't have a grocery store over there. You don't have a grocery store in East Savannah.
Right.
You don't have a grocery store in West Savannah. You don't have a grocery store in Hudson Hill. You don't really have a grocery store in Garden City.
You don't have that local Walmart where they're giving like those neighborhood Walmarts and things of that nature. So no neighborhood Walmarts. You do have a Kroger, and I would say this. Also, people need to know how to shop.
Yeah.
They need to know how to eat. So I could take someone to Walmart and show them the produce section and show them how to eat and what to buy, but also the fact is of convenience. So like, look, hey, it's easier for me to go ahead and
move it up.
All right.
To your mouth, because I can barely hear you.
I have a big mouth on these.
Ridiculous.
I know, right? So it's about learning how to eat, but also knowing how to shop. It's important. I don't know if we can dive into it a lot more when it comes to health and nutrition, but the main thing is those good sources of food aren't located in black communities, and so how can we do that? And I don't know. But at the same point, you don't want to tell our black community to move from those neighborhoods too. So we want successful businesses to be in black neighborhoods.
So going back to the neighborhoods, we see that there is poor food choices being marketed to the community. What about the support of black businesses in our communities? Because if you really look at the hood, You don't see a lot of black businesses in the hood, but we live there. So are we doomed economically in our hoods?
Are we doomed economically in our hoods? And I think we were talking about before. One thing that, you know, that we can just say about the hood is that we have a sense of togetherness. We have a sense of, and I know people will argue, say like, well, you know, we of course black on black crime and things of that nature. With most crime is gonna happen with the person that you know.
Right.
Like you're not gonna see like a stranger come out and like, hey, I'm gonna shoot you. Like no, yeah, you're gonna shoot the person or you're gonna commit that crime against that person that you know.
That's true.
So let's just dispel that. But
where did that term even come from?
What?
Black on black crime.
Black on white crime or crime, just crime.
Right.
Just crime in general. But no, we need to go ahead and increase black ownership within the community. But we can go into a lot of things when it comes to like tax breaks that local people have.
Because I can like barely hear you.
You need to take this thing off. What? Put it right here.
I don't know. You gotta talk a little louder.
Talk a little louder. I don't want to
just come on. Matter of fact, come over here with me.
Oh, Monisha, if I come over here with you, all my body because I was.
Oh my God! But you were just talking about health and fitness.
Oh, health and fitness, but that thing come at a price.
Oh my gosh!
Come at a price.
We're gonna talk about you being in South Magazine too, coming at a price.
Look here. I like South Magazine.
Yeah.
So. What are we talking about again?
Talking about the support of black businesses in our neighborhood and how there's a lack of black businesses in our black neighborhoods.
Well, I mean, we need to increase black ownership and black businesses in our neighborhoods. But what are those black businesses going to do? In fact, I will ask the question: what black businesses do you want in the neighborhood? Do you want black grocery stores? Do you want black convenience stores? Do you want black gas stations? Do you want more? I would say, if anything, we need more educational outlets in the community. We need more. Not necessarily government funded programs, but we need more black churches. We need more black schools. We need more. Educational outreaches in our community. And once we get that, then we'll be able to effectively change our community.
Okay, so I have a rebuttal on that one because you mentioned black churches. And just like there's black liquor stores on every corner, there's black churches on every corner. What are they doing to impact the neighborhoods besides providing this sense of hope and patience?
And I'm not too knowledgeable about the political arena, but I would say that you, as a homeowner, you can go down to your city council, and there can be some type of vote where you're like, I don't want this business in my community.
Yeah, that's true.
So there needs to be a voice. There needs to be some type of voice saying that, hey, we don't want this to plague our community. We don't want liquor stores in our community, because I guarantee if you go to the south side or you go to some of these other neighborhoods, there are no liquor stores around there because they don't want that. So, but if we don't have a voice in this, then people are just going to do whatever they want to do and just step all over us.
That's true. So how can we empower our community to be more politically active, which is something that we talked about earlier, that we need more black officials in office to change the laws? How can we empower our people? Shout out to Alicia Scott.
Alicia. Shout out
to Alicia Scott running for state representative of District 164. I'm very proud of you. Yes, I believe you can make a change.
One thing about making a change is also listening to shows like Real Talk, being active, and also realizing that there is a problem. Realizing that, hey, you know what? You can make a change.
Yeah.
So you as an individual, you can make a change, and as you make a change, start having these conversations in your church, start having these conversations in your school, start having these conversations in your community, and actually resourcing and outsourcing this information I would say go to city council meetings and actually have a real dialogue with your officials and see what their belief system is and see if it correlates with your belief system, because everybody has a belief system. And if your belief system is different from what the people that you've elected in the office that represents you, and you guys don't see eye to eye, then guess what? That's the conversation that you guys need to have. But actually recognizing it, but I don't know, it's how can you tell someone to recognize it, but when you stay in a community where everyone isn't as affluent, and you have to focus on real issues as far as like raising your children, making sure they're safe, things of that nature. So there's a lot of things that correlate with that people just aren't aware of, that people, and I honestly think people want to do good, but having the fortitude and having the effort to actually do it, and having the resources to do it, and actually knowing people to kind of guide you in that right direction.
So, do you think that in our neighborhoods, as far as like sticking together, do you think that there's a disparity within the age? Because you can see, like, you was at my house tonight and you saw, like, I'm surrounded by a bunch of older black people, and we all kind of look out for each other. But when you look at the younger generation, like what happened around the corner, it's just like, oh, I'm, hands off from that. We, in the younger generation, and I feel like I'm separated from that, even though I'm only like 10 years, senior. It feels like there's more of a selfish mentality, especially when it comes to that no snitching thing. So how can we impact the youth to come into this sense of empowerment? Because I more than anything, when we were doing our live real talk sessions last year, we invited the youth because the crime was getting out of control in Savannah. And you're talking about 15 and 16-year-olds killing each other. It's like, how can we reach them to let them know that there is a better life out there? You can make a difference in your community. You can make money, and you could be a good person too. And it's like the message isn't getting there. How can we reach them?
Well, there's a lot of things. I think one of the things is there a better life? Because obviously they're not provided a better life. Obviously there's something going on that's turning them to that, and we harp on it a lot, is education. So, and it's easy to tell someone like, hey, you need to be educated, but there's more to that. You need to have some type of, not necessarily motivation, but there needs to be some type of catalyst where people are actually not necessarily seeking out help, but starting that at a young age. There needs to be some way to where people, communities realize that there's a larger issue, and the issue is the lack of education, the lack of leaders within the community. And I will hate to say this, but there's a stretch of just parenting. Just bad. I hate to say it's just some bad parents out there, and it's I would say just being selfish. And I've seen this even in my community, where people, it's all about me, and I'm around here having these doggone kids, and I'm not ready to have kids, but I got these kids anyway. And now I don't know how to raise them, because you know what? Now I'm 18, 19, 20, 21 years old having kids, and I didn't go to college, and I'm not going to college, because I got to sit here and raise these kids, and not necessarily saying I'm on government assistance, but I'm on government assistance. I can't get a good job because I'm not educated, so now I have to settle working these, hospitality jobs or whatever jobs where I'm making $7, $8, $9 an hour, and that's going to carry over for a couple of years. So now I'm in a rut. Now I'm 20, 30 years old, and I haven't been in a leadership position, and now I'm raising teenagers, and now I'm trying to get a sense of why are my kids acting like this, or why is this happening in my community, and we're just perpetuating that cycle. So I think, again, one of the main things that we have to do is we have to educate our community. We have to take personal responsibility, and I'm big on that, taking personal responsibility and educating ourselves and knowing that, hey, this is a problem, and we got to fix it.
I do absolutely agree. It all starts at home for me. There has to be a dual effort at home and at school, or wherever those kids are in a public setting, but it all starts at home. And to see just some of the ways that our kids behave, for example.
I'm gonna interrupt you and say this to the program. No, it is not cool to be a single black mom. That's not cool. I don't care what. Look,
who said that is cool?
But
I can attest to that. That's
I know,
not cool.
But some people think that. Some people think that, and they look at it as a self of pride, like you know what,
badge of honor,
like a badge of honor. That
it's a struggle.
It is a struggle, and the thing is, you don't have to struggle. Like, you do not have to struggle. It is not okay. There needs to be two people in a household. There needs to be a man.
Is that like a foreign concept or something?
No,
like having a nuclear family is not a black thing or something?
It's like, and I used to tell my mom, and I told my mom this now as an adult, and I'm like, look, there's no way that you can be mom and dad. Like, you just can't do it. Like,
I never believe I could be my kid's father. I am a woman first. Now, I may have to step up my disciplinary side because that side is lacking. That actual person is not there to be that. But I know as a woman, I can't teach my son certain things about being a man. That's why I asked my father and my stepfather, my grandfather and my stepfather, to talk to my son about growing into puberty. Because I'm like, I don't know what that feels like. So I could never take that place. And it disheartens me when I hear young single mothers say, oh, I'm the mama and the daddy. And then Father's Day come around, like, I'm going to get the gift. Like, no, there are certain things about being a woman that you could never identify with being a man. And so you could never teach your son that. You could try to place him around as many positive figures as possible, and you could teach him how to be a decent human being. But there are certain things about being a man I could never teach my son, and I would never try to act like I could.
And it's hard enough just being a black man in society in general, but you have that. So now you have people that are 15, 16, 17 years old that have guns and are doing things within the community that are disheartening, but it's because they haven't been taught. Right. So now we're upset. Now we're mad. In fact, and I tell people, don't be mad at that kid. You need to be mad at them parents. So because kids are a direct reflection of the teachings of the parent. Now you have some of those odd ones that, they walk around in trench coats and they close their doors. No, you ain't closing no doors in my house. Their door open. What you doing? You working on a school project? What project you working on? What project I didn't know about?
Straight up.
Where's your syllabus?
I don't think you can get that kind of privacy in black homes.
You ain't get no privacy. Ain't no privacy around here. I pay for that privacy. I go to work.
Right.
You go to work and get your own privacy. You ain't get no privacy around here.
Not at all. Not at all.
But it's a cycle, and we fail to realize that we have to stop it. But again, one of the ways we can stop it is having these conversations. And I think that's the beauty about living in the 21st century, where we have cell phones, we have cameras. Now we're able to actually see like what's going on within the community, and I think we're having a better outlook of the disparities that we have, and we're doing things about it. So I am proud of that.
Yeah, I do have to agree. We are moving into a better direction, because at one time, and then I changed my whole perspective too. You mentioned that tonight. As far as like who I'm surrounded by. But at one point in time, it was just like fight videos and just ratchetness. But I don't really see that on my timeline anymore. I may see it like 1 or 2 times out of my day. But are we moving towards an empowerment movement?
So I interrupt you to say this. That's why I don't look at Love and Hip Hop. I don't look at Love and Hip Hop. I don't look at Housewives of Atlanta. I don't do it because we perpetuate bad stereotypes, even though they're funny, and that's great. And I'll look at it for the entertainment aspect. But when you're talking about our youth, they look at that as like that's real life.
Right.
That is what blackness, and that is what satisfies me, and that's what I need to be like. And it's like, no. And that's when we go back to not having a dual income household and not having a father in the household. So now you're talking about, now we're not even talking about violence and violence as we grow up and be older. Now we got to worry about relationships. Right. Like, how is that now that black man, that black woman, or even I don't want to look at just a man and a woman. How do we function going forward and how to conduct ourselves in real, meaningful, sustainable relationships? And I've never seen that before because I got my mom over here talking something. I'm a strong, proud black woman. I don't need no man. And look, I take care of everything. So now you got that man walking around here mistreating women or being... Yeah, it's just crazy.
I agree, Charlton. And that's something else that I was about to delve into. He was saying, not shifting the blame from the parents, but in today's society, the parents have great compensation from what kids see on TV, the internet, and what they hear through the music. It's a tough job for parents today. I agree with that sentiment on one side. Excuse me. But on the other side, I have to say you could turn all that stuff off. And I do it. I was thinking about that today. I was driving home, and I have Sirius. And so I listen to Shade 45 when I'm leaving work. And Rude Jude is on. He is one of the filthiest mouth personalities on the radio. But his conversations are always really interesting. My daughter got in the car, picked her up from daycare. My daughter is 4 years old. They started saying a few words that were out of line. I'm like, you know what? Too much for a 4-year-old. Shifted to heart and soul. I was like, because that's not meant for her to hear.
Right. It's meant for you because you're an adult.
Right. We have to learn censorship as adults. And one thing that I check about my son, too, when I have, conversations with other adults, I make him leave the room because I don't need you sitting there standing in my mouth. And then next thing you know, you talking about adult business. Children should stay in children's place. And we have to get back to keeping kids as kids. We want our kids to grow up so fast, and then we want our kids to be our friends. And so that right there in itself is an issue because then they become so grown that we can't handle them. So I agree with you, Charlton, that we do have a lot of competition, but we as parents we must monitor that.
And Sheldon, also you have to realize the power of you. You have to realize the power of you setting the example. And it's not necessarily saying I guarantee, but if you model a good model within your household, no matter what for the most part, your child or your children won't stray away from those positive teachings that you implement on them because they can see something crazy and look here that. They'll realize, like, that's not cool. That doesn't look right. Or if they dabble in something that's bad, like, you know what? I really just don't feel comfortable with that because, you know what? My dad taught me better.
Right. Agreed. I don't know. The way that we are moving, I see a shift in the growth of our community, but there's still a lot of things that need to be addressed and a lot of things that need to be nipped in the bud, period. And we got to start with our parenting. Our parenting is everything. It seems like somewhere around the 70s and the 80s, like things just kind of fell off. I don't know if it's because, the cost of living became too high. Now, the one parent that you did have in the household is out of the household working 2 or 3 jobs
but you gotta think, why are you working 2 or 3 jobs? Step up your game. If you see the game is changing, then guess what? You gotta change. If you see people making more money, guess what? You need to think in my mind, how is that person making more money and how come I'm not making that money?
That's true too.
But I know there are also other factors as well. Yeah. I'm not ignorant to that as well. But I would say for the most part, we have a long way to go as a culture, as an ethnicity, but we definitely have an upper hand than what we did have in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
That's true. I'm gonna cut in and do some promo and the station ID, and then we're gonna switch topics.
Got it.
So you're listening to WRUULP, Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. Our promo for tonight is for Geek End. The Creative Coast presents Geek End, a 2-day conference featuring speakers from technology, design, engineering, innovative industry, and more on February 2nd and 3rd at various venues in Savannah. Session topics include startups, innovative business thinking, video game development, and augmented and virtual reality technologies. More information is available at www.geek-n.com. And our station promo. If you are enjoying our programming on WRUULP, please support the station with a donation. As an individual, you can give any amount, become a basic station member, or become a serious fan of the station. To check out membership rates and to donate to the station, go to www.wruu.org/individual and select to donate monthly or subscribe to an annual membership. Again, to donate to the station, go to www.wruu.org/individual and select to donate monthly or subscribe to an annual membership. Thank you for listening to and supporting WRUULP. You are back with Real Talk. Guest host T. Moody.
Turn up. Real talk. Getting on issues.
So we've addressed community issues, and we've addressed the kids side, addressed African American empowerment, addressed some of the violence that affects our community. Now we want to go into relationships, and we want to delve into why is it so hard to enter and maintain relationships in today's society, which affects pretty much everyone. Because I hear other counterparts talking about it too, how it's just so hard to find love. And we talk about eHarmony, we talk about Match.com.
Who talks about that?
I'll even throw Plenty of Fish in there. Why not?
Look, if you on POF, you try something. Look, let me tell your cast something right now. If you on POF, you know what you're getting yourself into. But I don't know about no eHarmony. I don't know about no Match.com. You know what I know about? Going out, seeing somebody, talking to somebody, entering some type of dialogue, some type of conversation that is not on some type of social media platform.
Why are we so afraid to talk to people?
Because I got my phone. You know what? Hold on. I have this. This analogy. All right. So this is what it is. So I have a nephew. He's 20 years old. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a driver's license. Mm-hmm. So, and as I've been talking to other teens that are like 18, 19, 20, they don't have a driver's license. Mm-hmm. I was like, when me and you were growing up, we were like, man, I gotta get a driver's license because 16, 17, 18, I gotta get a driver's license. The reason why I gotta get a driver's license, I gotta impress this girl. Yeah. I got this job. I got like $100. Like, look, I'm about to take her out. Like, look, we about to go to Applebee's. We about to get it.
I'm about to let Brooke in.
Brooke in on this. Late. Super late, and she about to get it too. So look here.
Girl, you're late.
You're late. So I'm starting to realize I'm starting to realize that.
Wash my hair. Is this one on?
It's barely.
I'm starting to realize that a lot of teens don't have a driver's license. The reason why I don't have a driver's license is because guess what? I got Instagram, I got Facebook, I got Snap. I can just see you. There's no allure for me to make an effort to go out and get a driver's license to come see you. Like, I don't have to do that. Guess what? I got Uber. I got Lyft. I don't need a driver's license. Guess what? I can pull that thing up on my phone and you can just boom. I can just come get you. There go, bro. Turn up.
Hello, I'm in the building. Hola. I was listening to y'all on the turn me on.
You on? It's just I don't know, that mic isn't working properly or something like that. So just come on over here and join us.
We're just gonna be real close and comfy.
That's what we do. That's what we do. So you don't. So yeah. There's no incentive to get a driver's license. So. Where were we going at with this? We went over relationships.
Yeah. Why is it so hard to talk to people?
Why is it so hard? Because people don't know how to talk to people. That's it. If I hide behind this phone right here, and I'm snapping, I'm Instagramming, and I'm doing everything else, and I'm just all sucked into this, then guess what? I don't gotta go out to no club. I ain't gotta do all that. Guess what? Get out, put that phone down, go out and meet people. But now we go into the topic of meeting quality people. When you meet a lot of scumbags and a lot of boo-boo heads, then you go get it too. If you on POF, that's what you gonna get. So don't go on POF.
Just go out to the bar. I mean, so like.
We talking about quality people now, so we already we got to realize.
Quality people.
All right, so we got to realize that. I mean, I go out to the bar, I'm quality, but guess what? I'm not gonna be at the bar like, okay, I'm looking for a quality woman. I'm going.
I didn't say you was at the bar meeting like looking for somebody, but I seriously meet a lot of different connections. Just going to the bar by myself, and I'm like, you know what? Let's strike up a conversation.
Right.
Then next thing you know, you actually do something that I'm looking for. I do something that you looking for. Now we've exchanged numbers. Hey, you know what? You're a cool person. Maybe you would be cool to date. We may not make it work, but you know what?
I don't want to do all that. I don't want to just go out there and make it work. I want everything. I want everything to work. But you know what? You do not have to go only to the bar to meet somebody.
You go to the grocery store. I talk to everybody.
But you know, we're social people. Well, we're talking about people that aren't social people. We want people to be. So I think if you're not social, you need to put yourself in social environments. And sometimes,
but you know, it's difficult. You can't just say if you're not social, put yourself in social environments, because social people who aren't antisocial people aren't going to want to place themselves in positions to be social. You know, exactly.
So how do we overcome that?
That's when they find people in their same venue. Like, that's why you have the gamers conversating through games, you know. But
there has to be some there. I mean, and that segment works for certain people, and I'm not saying for the majority of people, the reason why there's so many there is not a successful rate is because we're not actually engaging with people. Like it's gonna have to be a certain point in your life where you have to be uncomfortable. It's going to have to be a certain point where, look here, I want to talk to Brooke. I want to meet Brooke. But guess what? If Brooke only see like all these amazing doctored Photoshop pictures of me on Instagram, and then she actually finally meet me, and I look like a bag of dirt, and you know, it's going to be like, now it's like, why does she not like me? Cause you just got catfish.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no one ever really sets out to form meaningful relationships on social media, or do you? Because, you know, I take that back, because we see all these posts about, oh, I met my wife through a DM.
Right.
Okay. But that works for like what? Less than 10% of the population? Realistically?
It doesn't work for a lot of people. I don't know the percentages. It doesn't work for a lot of people, and I think for me, it's, why are you putting your energy into something that you know it's a fail? So if you want something successful, if you just want just having a conversation, just going out meeting people, yeah, going to the bar, going to a lounge, going to a night event, is good. But you know what? And I was telling my buddy about this, and he used to hate me about this all the time. Is that I don't have, you know what? I want to meet. You know what? Quality people are out during the daytime. They're not out at night. You only got a handful of them out at night.
We gotta go get rest for work, because we gotta
right. Look, that school teacher, that doctor, that lawyer, that entrepreneur. They're not out at night. You know what? Because they gotta go to bed. They're working on projects. You know where you need to meet them at? You need to meet them at lunch. Where are good lunch places to go? But the thing about it is, you want to meet somebody, but we're not talking about you being quality. Like, you got to be quality too. So if you're not quality and you out there trying to get quality, then it's not going to work. So I think with a lot of people is you got to kind of do a self-check. Like, who are you as a person? And I was telling Monisha this actually tonight. And, you know, it's a great marketing strategy. Would you buy you?
Okay. I like that. I get it. But at the same time, are you saying that because my personality isn't up to par with your standards of what justifies a decent person, I don't deserve a decent person?
No, but how can I not sound mean? Say if you're just not a decent person, because we have people like they're just not decent people. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily decent, but if not saying lacking of, how can I say the word? If you're just, everybody wants to shoot for the stars. Everybody wants like that perfect person. And I always use, and I tell Monisha this, I always use the ratio of money, because money is like sometimes it's the great equalizer. if I'm making $20,000-$30,000 a year, and I want to meet somebody, and they make 80, 90, 100, and I tell women this all the time, like, you walk around here making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, and I want that stud that's out there making $120,000, $250,000 a year. The chance of you getting that person is not great because you guys are living two different lifestyles. Mm-hmm. Like, his lifestyle at $100,000, $200,000 a year is going to be totally different from your $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year job. So how can you overcome that? And the thing about it is, you might be an amazing person. You might have a great personality, but for the most part, some of those people that, not saying that you're in that income bracket, not saying that you're not a great person. You don't have a great you're not up to par, but sometimes you gotta, I'm not saying dumb your stuff down, but sometimes you gotta step your game up. If you want to compete with the best, you gotta compete with the best.
Okay.
So I always tell people, like, just step your game up. But we also went off topic about meeting people. Just go out there and meet somebody. It's Valentine's Day. But Valentine's coming around.
Ultimately, what it boils down to is stepping outside of your comfort zone. You can't expect to get different results if you're doing the same actions. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm an introvert. So maybe I'll go, instead of trying to go to a club, like, let me go somewhere other introverts might hang out. Let me hit up Barnes and Noble. Let me hit up a Starbucks,
And I was telling Monisha, me being in the health and fitness industry, like, go to the gym.
Boom.
Go to the gym. Look, guess
it's
what?
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Guess what? Go to Lake Mirror and walk around. Guess what? Say if I'm out of shape and I'm trying to get better. Guess what? There's somebody else out there at that park that's out of shape just like you. And guess what? I want to get in shape. They want to get in shape. If you go to the park Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you see that same person at the park Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's gonna hold some type of accountability. And with that same accountability, you're gonna form some type of, not necessarily a relationship, but some type of bond with that person. Because you see that person Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that person might be cute, and they think you cute too. And you all right, they all right. And something, you got to make sparks happen. You got in fact, if you are the spark, you got to go out there and spark somebody else. Boom. Spark you.
What?
Spark you.
We're sparked.
You're sparked.
Sparked up and
better go spark. You better go spark somebody.
Should a woman?
Oh yeah, that's the comment.
Search for Boaz or wait for him? Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, we're going back to Boaz every time. Who said that?
George.
Of course, George said that.
Boaz, Ruth, and Boaz in the Bible.
Why do we always resort back to? All right, let's go.
So the story. Okay, now I gotta give you a biblical lesson.
Give me a biblical lesson. I'm sorry.
So Ruth was taking care of her mother-in-law Naomi after her husband died. There was nobody there to take care of Naomi. And Ruth would go out in the fields and collect, like, not the tares, but like the leftover wheat, so they can make whatever they need to make and eat. And so Boaz noticed her and, noticed how much she cared for Naomi, even when she didn't really have to.
Right.
And so he came to her, he looked after her like she was a daughter.
Right.
And Naomi told Ruth to go to him, lay at his feet, and basically offer herself to him for marriage. And Boaz said, well, before we do that, we need to make sure that there's no other men in the family that could have rights to you. Because like a woman was like a right, like land and property and all that stuff. And so there came an instance where there was some land that belonged to Naomi, her mother-in-law, that was like could have been passed along to another kin.
Right.
And so the land and of course Ruth could have been passed along to this kin, and the kin passed up on it and said, Boaz, if you want it, you can take it.
Right.
The land and her.
Right.
And so he basically took it.
But the thing about it, but you're realizing the main thing, Boaz noticed her. So the thing is, you have to go get noticed. But if you're staying in the house and you behind that phone, you're not getting noticed.
That is true.
So you got to get your behind out there and get noticed.
That is true.
And
Okay,
and also you don't have to get noticed in a negative fashion.
Okay,
either.
there we go. You knew I was about to
I knew.
turn that.
You don't gonna get noticed in a negative fashion. But then I would say this: some people don't know how to get noticed in a positive fashion. So
is that why we have the Kim K's and the Amber Roses out here, and that seems to be a prevalence more than, who can I say? See, that's how irrelevant they are. I can't even think of somebody.
Sanaa Lathan.
She get noticed for her body a lot too.
She do?
Yeah, she do.
Okay.
She got a lot of notoriety.
She do.
All
right. She doesn't have like a super noticeable body. Like, see, I don't think.
But again, that's also society playing on us on what we think is socially acceptable. What do we think what a woman should have? So,
Oh, and you know what? Perfect that you brought that up, because there's an artist I was looking up earlier. A new female rap artist. She's not new, but
talking about Rhapsody.
Yeah,
she's really dope.
So dope, and her whole message is like the exact opposite of Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, she's really about empowerment and self-care for a woman and all of that stuff. She's really dope. I've heard her on a couple projects. She had a song out with Chance too. It was really dope, and she's a really good lyricist. But she won't get as much play as Cardi B.
And she was saying that one reason why she doesn't get as much notoriety as Cardi B and puts out way better product is because a lot of her fan base is men. She doesn't have a lot of female followers, and then she says those things and it gets her bashed. They're like, oh, well, the females are up in arms, but why? You're not supporting me. She's like, I'm not, throwing shade, I'm stating facts.
Right.
So, what was it?
Because I was listening.
I was going to say, what is she stating?
She's like a Queen Latifah,
basically,
all right.
our age, but super cute,
super cute, and providing positive reinforcement.
Right. And her main goal is I'm fully dressed on stage. That is her thing. Like, I'm not coming out here to make money off my body. You're gonna listen to my lyrics, and you're gonna want to buy my stuff because I'm that dope.
I like it.
Let me see if I can.
So is it now that we've come to a place where women aren't valued if they don't look a certain way, so it's all about looks now? And then I'm gonna go back to that too. So is that all that we have to offer? Because we were having this conversation on the way over. Like, what is it? Why aren't men attracted? Some men, I won't say all.
Okay.
Why are some men attracted to women who have nothing to offer?
Because you know what? Because that man doesn't have anything to offer. You know what? Yeah, I'm real comfortable if you make all the money or if you provide for me, and I just sit on my butt. And I say the same thing, and I say the same thing all the time. And this is the thing. You know what? It's hard being responsible. Because when you're responsible, guess what? Everybody depending on you. And I look. I was telling somebody this the other day. You know what? Irresponsible men. You know what they get? They get all the play in all the world. You know why? And guess what? Because you don't expect nothing out of them. I say responsible guys. Look, they hardly ain't getting no play. They got to go out and be like super amazing, and then they most likely get amazing women. But for the most part, if you're amazing and you super responsible, you won't get like a Carly B. You won't get those people because guess what? I'm too responsible. I'm too right.
Why is it that we seek the opposite of who we are? No dead air.
Because I would say because I'm comfortable. Because I know you're not going anywhere.
Ooh.
Because you know what? If I know that you are, if I know I'm better than you, then guess what? You ain't going nowhere. Because where you gonna go at? I'm the best thing you got. I'm the best thing that's popping right now. You man ain't going nowhere. And guess what? And you know what? People like to tell people what to do.
That's true.
So if I get a sorry behind man or I get a sorry behind woman and I make majority of the money and I'm a better decision maker than you are, oh yeah, you know why I keep you around? Because I can tell you what to do.
That is true. That's so bad.
Always,
I absolutely agree with that.
And I would say this: always notice most people that that have never been in managerial positions, that haven't had a stake in telling people what to do and knowing how to treat people. And people that don't have those positions, guess what? They love telling people what to do.
That's true.
And I hate those, because those people make the worst parents. I hate people around here telling them just screaming at their kid. Like, you better quit screaming at the kid. You know what? I wish I can go back to being a kid and let my mama talk to me the way she talked. Like, look, talk to me like that one more time, and we gonna see what happens.
Don't do that. You wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here, right? That's why I'm smart. I was smart as a young kid. I kept my mouth shut.
Right.
Yes, mama. I knew it. Like, you keep on yelling. You get tired of yelling. And I'm gonna go back to doing whatever I was doing. You yell it all out. Yell it all. Yell it all out so you can get tired. And I'll be sitting here looking at you, getting that dumb look as a kid.
Oh my God!
And you looking dumb. Like, no, I'm just waiting for you to shut up so I can go back to doing what I was doing. Just playing with the X-Men. Playing with my X-Men toys.
Gosh.
When can I get that next Debbie cake? I love me a Debbie cake.
That is ridiculous. But we have to figure out, because it seems like we're just heading into a direction of being satisfied single.
But we go back to the topic that we were talking about earlier. We're talking about men in the household and women in the household. The only way I'm going to know how to treat a woman is if I see my daddy treat. How does my daddy treat my mama? I am a proud product of a poor household. I'm a proud product of my daddy wasn't there. I don't know how to treat a woman. In fact, when I was around my dad treated my stepmom horribly. He used to hit her, beat her, talk to her any kind of way, lock her out the house. It wasn't until I had a mentor. I had a man come into my life and was my high school teacher, and I followed him to this day, that taught me how to be a man, that taught me how to treat women, that taught me how to not only know how to talk to women, but to respect a woman. And I told a woman this, like, you know what, I respect you not only as a woman, but I respect you as a black woman. And I think we as males, we need to. It's not the fact of us coming back. We just need to be taught it. So when you see sorry men out there, it's not the fact that they choose to be sorry. Man, they ain't had no choice. Nobody taught them how to be a good guy.
Do we have to give them that pass, or should we?
No. Nobody get no pass. Everybody's held accountable. But that's the whole reason why I'm glad hopefully they listen to real talk. So now it's a difference between being ignorant. The thing about it is you need to be empowered. So once you become empowered, now it's your responsibility. But no grown man should be walking around here telling someone, I just choose to be ignorant. Right. Like, no.
So, another question then. Are we prioritizing our lives wrong? Are we putting our selfish desires and our need to be wealthy, really? I wouldn't even say, well, great too. Yeah, we want to be great, but I mean, it seems like we're always chasing $1. For me personally, I'm always chasing $1. More money, more Instagram. But I mean, is that taking precedence over the actual building a life and building a legacy? It seems that we emphasize so much of our personal successes that we forget to emphasize our families, that we forget to emphasize our everything that's gonna last, anything that they put on a tombstone.
I got something, Brooke. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think that, like I was telling you before, Manisha, there has to be some type of sacrifice. Like, you can be the most wealthiest, most successful person, but if you don't have nobody, not necessarily to say to leave that to, but if you haven't built any foundation within because you gotta have not saying you have to, but I would say most people, they want to have a family. They want to be loved. They want to pass those teachings on. But I would also say that, and when it comes to people that are rich and that are wealthy, they're not worrying about making the next dollar. The thing about it is they know how to make a dollar. If I know how to make a dollar, I'm not worrying about the dollar because I know how to make it. I think and again, like I was telling you before, we have to be accustomed to having money. when you get used to having money, and me and Monisha was talking about this earlier about now it's income tax season. Now we about to go ahead and people about to go income tax crazy. So I got a friend. She don't have a job. And she's like one of the few friends that I do have that's like this, because I tell you, if you ain't doing nothing with your life, I can't have that bad energy affecting me. But she's just one of those ones, and she about to get cut off if she don't get her act straight. But I'm like, look, I'm trying to tell you, trying to give you some tough love, but you can't handle it. So 3 kids, no job, income tax. I was like, boom. I was like, why don't you go ahead? I was like, why don't you work on? I was like, gosh, like, you need to go back to school. I was like, there's no other way that you're going to advance yourself, in what you're trying to do unless you get education. I said, you need to go back to school. I said, but on top of going back to school, I was like, you can income tax. Like, why don't you just pay your bills up for like 6 months? Like, why don't you just pay your rent, your.
How did she get taxes with no job? She just recently got unemployment.
No, we got kids.
They claim that they doing hair.
They doing something. I don't.
Dinners. You're self-employed. I've had some clients come to me to do that. I'm like, listen, I don't work like that.
I don't know how they doing it, but boom, you getting $5,000-$6,000 back, $7,000. Like, why don't you go and just pay your light bill? I was like, your light bill, pay your gas bill, pay your rent. I was like, pay all that up for like 6 months. I was like, do that. I was like, you ain't got no bills. 6 months. Boom. You January, you February. Let's say you get them back. You February to doggone July. You good. You go and get you a job, start back school, and go ahead and just make it happen. But you want to give yourself the opportunity to get a head start. She told me, I'm going to Miami to go ahead and get a tummy tuck and get a booty job. I'm like, what's the tummy tuck and the booty gonna do you? What is that gonna do for you? It's not gonna do anything for you. And this is also a person that doesn't have a man. So I'm like, look, I was like, me as a man, I don't want that.
That's a problem. See, and I had this lady literally tell me, like, she was in this back in my retail days. She was in the store and she was like, oh yeah, I'm waiting on, just one of those people who just needs attention. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just talking the whole time. I'm like, Jesus, will I hurry myself up because I can't take it anymore. So she's like, she legit said, oh, I owe myself a trip to Miami for my birthday. Why is it always Miami? Go somewhere else.
I never been to Miami. I want to go to Miami.
They don't know nothing else. So, they hear about Miami and they're looking for ballers.
I owe myself a trip to Miami. She swiped a child support card and she was like, yeah, I'm treating myself right now because I always take care of my daughter. Oh, I don't even need this money. I just get it just because I can. So I'm like, whatever your total is, because this is done. Can't relate.
Right.
Right.
But it's just, it's that mentality that's going to continue to hold people back. When you think like that, who wants to be with you?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
And I got
like, what kind of quality man are you going to attract?
And I got this, and this the same. This thing I was telling about my homegirl, and she gets child support too. I was like, you know what? Child support only lasts when the person works. What if that joker stop working?
Boy, let me tell you.
What if that joker stop?
What? Quit their job.
It's not the fact quit your job. It's like, you know what? It's like, what if, God forbid, something happened to me at work? God forbid, like, guess what? I don't live a healthy lifestyle, and I end up getting a stroke or whatever the case may be, and I am physically unable to, like, work or make the quality money that I used to make. Mm-hmm. And now you all mad. What are you mad for?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm mad that I have, don't start getting me talking about Section 8 and all that good stuff. Now look here, we ain't gonna talk about that. Because you got money, you need to be putting that money to the side. I think everyone can get a head start if they just know how to do it right.
Or either coming together. Remember that meme both of us shared that was like, okay, get five or six of your friends who are getting back $5,000 or $6,000. Y'all put down on a building.
And start a business.
Or either now we're living, you know?
Right.
And we're going to maintain this together, or either we're going to rent it out and we're going to make this money together.
Right.
But that's the thing, coming together. It all boils back down to coming together.
But we have
Nobody wants to see anyone do better than them.
But exactly.
And that's what it is.
You have to be in sync, and you have to know that, you know what, there's something better than what I have going on. And I want to, not only do I want to improve myself, and I think that's the selfishness, how can I take it from me and improve my community? And that's what we're here for, and that's what Real Talk is about, is how do we improve our community? And one of the best ways to improve your community, not only giving back to your community, but taking that selfishness out of you and knowing that it's something bigger.
Right.
Let's do a couple comments.
Why be mad at the person on Section 8 because they don't?
Oh, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at the person on Section 8. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you a personal experience from somebody that was on Section 8.
You have 3 minutes.
They got 3 minutes. Boom, on Section 8. They got like. I was in class at one point, and this lady was like,
"Imagine this and boom."
Imagine this and boom. Imagine you on Section 8. Boom, you on Section 8, and you make good money. Like I know people that on Section 8 don't make that you know they don't make decent money, but I knew somebody on Section 8 that was making some real good money.
Like what's good?
They was making like at least I don't know how they was doing it, but they was making at least $40,000-$50,000 a year. Okay. Boom, they was doing pretty decent, and they scrambled around getting Section 8. And they had, they had a man staying with them, and he was making money too. But I think like in Section 8, I don't know the rules. No, don't get me quoted. You can't have nobody staying with you. You can't have nobody staying with you. Boom, he was doggone making money, so they was winning. And guess what? They going out of town on trips. They mismanaging their money. No, I don't want to buy no house. It's cheap. So I say all this. There's nothing wrong with being on Section 8. There's nothing wrong with being on food stamps. There's nothing wrong with getting government assistance. But there are
to the people who really need it.
Not only that. Don't get comfortable. Use it as a stepping stone.
Right. Step
That's
it up.
What it should be.
And go ahead.
Go ahead. No. It's not a lifestyle. It's a stepping stone.
The landlord gets their property paid for off Section 8. Yeah, but then get the tenants who really don't need it, then they're just living lavish and not really moving forward.
Or you see somebody like I done seen people I done seen one person on Section 8, but then guess what? It's like 2 or 3 people staying with her that make way more money than the person that actually deserves the Section 8. And then they just living there for free, just chilling. And then when they come around to like inspect, them jokers just vanish.
Right.
Like, where'd you go? You been staying here all this time?
Right.
I ain't giving me no money. Man, I don't like that.
Right. Yep. But T Moody, we about to wrap this up. Go ahead and tell the folks who you are once again. Let them know how they can find you.
Oh man, you can find me the T Moody. I'm on Instagram. Also, I'm starting up a new web page, and I'll keep you posted on it. But everything's coming good. You know, South Magazine's been treating me good, and I don't know, I'm just doing my thing.
Hey, well, thank you, T Moody, for coming and joining us on the show. We might have to have you as like a once a month host or something. This was entertaining.
It was entertaining. And then nothing against people that's on Section 8. I love people that's on.
Man, listen, they tearing up Nottingham right now. I don't like them.
Okay, so thanks for listening. This is WRUU
LP,
Savannah, Georgia, 107.5 FM, WRUU.org. We are Savannah Soundings, community radio with global soul. Thanks for listening. Real talk.
We out.
Mad ethnic.
I turned the thing off.
Oh,
hey, I was 2 seconds too late. All right, I gotta go. Last night at the hotel.
Huh?
I'm still doing it. It's such easy money.
Why, Slay? We out here, y'all.